Hi again, folks. In this video, just some random Sabres talk coming up. Yeah, I wanted to throw out just some thoughts going on in my head since we have our big month coming now, and we're going to have to not screw up. We really have to not screw up this month. This is a month where we are sitting on the most power that we've had in a very long time financially, guys. We're sitting on money during a time where teams are desperate to unload players they don't even want to move. But this is a time this is a rare time because we are in the frozen market. Yes, I know the went up $1 million, but for a lot of teams, that's minimal relief. A lot of teams are looking for $5 million and up, you know. They want to get some relief, some cap relief. And I think now is the perfect time for us to take advantage of those teams. It really is. But it's also, I don't want to be loose with the money. You guys know I talk a lot about the cash part of this, and it really is, for me, guys, it's, you know, we can't be stupid with the cash because this is going to propel us into a very comfortable situation in about 2 years when we are desperate to get most of these players signed and locked in and have the money to do it. That's where we're going to love Kevyn Adams, guys, if he's still around and we get all our guys locked in comfortably, and we got a nice young core going forward, and we're looking like the Eastern version of the Colorado Avalanche. I think we're going to be pretty impressed with Kevyn Adams at that point, you know. So we can't go and screw up this year either, but we do want to be competitive. We don't want to be sitting, you know, 2 years of just constant losing, knowing it's coming again and coming waves of losing. We want to win. We want to start winning. So we do want to do something this offseason. Absolutely. We want to make some sort of splash that makes sense, looking at the numbers. And I would think that goaltending should be the priority there still. And this is why, guys, another reason I'm making this video. That's why I didn't make a video on the Anderson signing. It's not that big a news because really this isn't going to be our number one goalie. You know, he's just going to be one of our goalies. And we wanted to have him around the locker room, and we're paying for that, you know, to hit the cap floor is also part of it. And my guess is they got in their minds Craig Anderson pegged for 20 games this year. That's what I think they're in their minds, what they're thinking, 20 games. And then you got UPL, 20 games, maybe 25, and the rest of the games to whoever we sign now from this point on. Because the Sabres, I firmly believe, are going to sign a goalie. They're not done. This isn't going to be it. And that was one of the things I didn't want to do. I didn't want to make a video just on the Craig Anderson thing because I'm going to have people complaining and saying, oh, well, look at this. We're going to lose again next year. We're going to, thinking that we're done. And I don't want to like have a video go out there where I don't believe that's what's happening. So there's just no point. And that's why I discussed the other goalies in the other video, because even if it was long, I wanted to discuss that because we are still in that market. We're still in that marketplace. So the Sabres are going to have to pull up their socks, look at a goalie they want to get, make a decision, give the right message to the young goalies that these guys are in our plans, or if they're not. Because, you know, we can't play second fiddle to them, waiting for them to decide either, right? I mean, you know, we should get these guys signed as quick as we can this next off season, and if they don't want to sign them, we got to move them. We just got to move them. I don't care what their names are. I don't care if their name's Devin Levi. Move them. We can't get harmed just because of goalies not wanting to play here. We got to move them. Those are bumps in the road, guys, on a way to a Stanley Cup, you know? So I'm looking at it now like, you know, which way can we go? We can go long-term with the goaltending, right? We could. And if we do that, then we've already sent the message to the young goalies that, you know, we got other plans where we want to lock in this guy long-term, and we will see then what happens. But, you know, I wanted to bring up like just random thoughts, random things, random trades, you know. I'm a little concerned about Olofsson and even Jacob Bryson to some extent that they might go to arbitration. You know, they're both arbitration eligible this offseason. And we know, guys, that anybody that goes to arbitration, that's usually the end of them, whatever city they're playing in. I know it's not always that way, but it's usually that way. You know, how many guys can you say that you know went to arbitration and were still on the team? Here we are. Let's say they went to arbitration 3 years ago and are still on their teams. Let me know if you guys know, because I can't even, on the top of my head, come up with some names. You know, it's not a good thing, and arbitration's not a good thing, okay? It's like basically telling the organization that you're going to fight them, you know, and once that happens, it's almost like the relationship's busted beyond repair, usually, you know. So will these guys go to arbitration? I hope not. I hope not. You know, and I hope that they take reasonable contracts that make sense to the team, the future. We can't just be trying to make guys rich because we're going to be held captive. No, we can't do that, guys. We can't. So I'm hoping that the Sabres are logical with the money this offseason. Now, when it comes to, you know, locking in Olofsson, probably I would say, you know, $5 million, that's a lot. That's a lot of money for a guy that has just 2 20-goal seasons and finally put a season together that he had more regular strength goals than power play and had a 30-game drought in between all of it. Well, we know maybe if he was healthier, yeah, he probably could have got, you know, 30 goals, probably. But still, you know, he didn't, is the point I'm trying to make. He didn't. You get paid for what you do in this day and age. You do. These guys make millions, right? They make a lot of money, these guys, a lot of money. So which way do we go? Do we actually give in pressure and give this guy $6.5 million or something? I'd say no. Move him. You know, and I think it will get ugly if there's too much money demanded by his camp. You know, I think it will get ugly. Now Bryson, I think we can get him probably. Oh God, I'm thinking $2 million a year. Really, no more than that. I don't think he'll demand more than that. And if he goes to arbitration, there's not much of a case. So, you know, really, if you look at his numbers, not much of a case. So he wouldn't probably go to arbitration, where I could see Olofsson going to arbitration if it gets ugly. If it gets ugly in the dealings and he's like, forget this, we're not dealing with this, we'll let an arbitrator decide it. That's already a breakup. That's all that is already. I always look at arbitration. Once a player goes to arbitration, he's getting traded eventually, no matter who it is. So let's just hope it doesn't come to that. Okay, we have enough headaches on this team. We do. So yeah, we need a goalie. We want to avoid arbitration. I think we also need a forward, a defenseman. We need some sort of blue liner. Does he have to be right-handed? Preferably. Does he really have to be? No, not really. You know, if you look at Tampa Bay and their system over there, they had a lot of guys that weren't right-shot defensemen playing on the right side. So it's not really, I'm not really thinking of that part of it as much. Do we want to be sticklers about it and be really, if the fit's good, if the money fit is good, the whole fit has to be good, not just if you can shoot right. Is the fit good? Are we paying this guy double because he shoots right? That would be a dumb thing to do. So we shouldn't do that either. But what I am thinking, that is one of those things that really, yes, I want to do it in the offseason, but it's the goaltending I'm concerned about. So let's make sure that's priority. We go goaltending, then I would go defenseman, and then I would go winger. And yes, we can never have enough centermen, but I'd go winger. I'd like to have a few more wingers on the team, maybe, some size, preferably, would be the right way to go. So there's guys out there that we've mentioned in other videos I'd like to see as potential future Sabres. I would like to get some muscle when it comes to the defense and the forward. I'd like to get some muscle more than I would high ticket price talent where it's going to cost a fortune. I'd rather get guys for half the price that do double the battle on the ice. That's what I would like to get. But the goaltender, I'd say we might have to pay a little bit, and it would be logical to do, really. I mean, if we go and we pay a goalie, say $5 million, $4 million, and he backstops 50 to 55 games. Let's say 50 games. 50 games, solid. Solid. We like him. We hope he's going to stay in long term. Then I guess we could do it, but I'm very hesitant, guys. I am. When it comes to spending money, we finally have some power here. And I want to make sure that we lock in all our guys that we're planning to lock in eventually down the line. You know what I mean? So if we can make sure that we are saving the money properly, accordingly, and Adams is looking at the books very carefully and saying, no, we're not going to give this guy $5 million. We can only afford 3.7. Like, if he's that much of a stickler, is what I'm hoping, we'll be in good shape there. Maintain the money, get the pieces we need. Short term. They don't have to be long term, guys. I would say the physical players, you can lock them in long term. They're not going to cost a fortune. But the goaltender, we can get a short term deal, guys, till our young goalies are ready. We could do a few bandage jobs along the way, but good bandage jobs, smart ones, where we hate to let them go after a few years, that kind of thing, All right, I'm out like a light, guys. That's it. I'm done. I'll see you. I just wanted to chit chat about the boys. It's a big month coming up. Let's get ready for it. Let's hope that we make the right decisions, continue this rebuild on the right direction, because so far I like the path that Adams is bringing us to so far, and I hope to continue on that path, especially in a few years' time when we got all these contracts coming into play with all the kids having to get locked in. On that note, guys, I'll see you in the next one.